Today our goal is to find the probability that an event will occur. I've underlined the terms probability and event because those are important words for us to know for today. Probability is the measure of how likely an event is to happen. How likely is it that it's going to rain today? An event is something we would like to have happen. So we think about the things that we would like to have happen. We call those favorable events. Such things as the weather will be nice, you win the lottery, or you are chosen for a team. We can also apply probability to mathematical models. Suppose you roll a dice. What is the probability that you will roll an even number? Well, first we have to consider what all of the possible outcomes are. So if we examine the dice, we'll notice that it's a cube. It has 6 sides, and each side has a dot or from 1 to 6 on it. So all of our possible outcomes, or we could roll the numbers from 1 to 6. So we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But our question is, what is the probability that you will roll an even number? So now we need to examine all of those outcomes, and we need to figure out how many of those choices would be even. So we have 2, 4, and 6. Means our favorable outcomes are 2, 4, and 6. We have 3 favorable outcomes. We're now going to take this information and we're going to put it into a formula. Our formula reads, the probability that an event happens is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. So I've listed here the things that we have to gather in order to put our formula together. First, we need to write down what is our event. And our event is we are going to roll an even number. We determined from the past slide that our favorable outcomes is that there are 3, the 2, 4, and 6 are even. And we figured out that all possible outcomes, that there were 6 different possible outcomes. So now we can take this information that we have and we can put it into the formula. So we now have the probability, and we're going to put in our event, that we roll an even number. Just close our parenthesis, is equal to our favorable outcomes divided by our possible outcomes. And we're going to take that number of 3/6 and we're going to go to lowest terms. We're going to simplify that fraction down to 1/2. And then we can make the statement that the probability that you will roll an even number on a dice is 1/2. Because 3 of the numbers are even and there are 6 numbers on the dice. Let's try another problem. We can use the same formula to find out the probability of rolling a number less than 3. So I've written the formula again for you. We have the probability of the event is equal to the number of favorable outcomes, which would be numbers less than 3, divided by the number of possible outcomes. So we're once again going to construct our formula using information that we know. So first of all, it's the probability of numbers less than 3. So we'll close that up. And if we look at the dice here, we can see the number 2 and the number 1. Those are the only numbers less than 3. So our number of favorable outcomes is 2. And we know from the last problem that there are 6 possibilities. So our fraction is now 2/6, which is not simplified, so we're going to simplify it. It's equal to 1/3. And now we can say that the probability of rolling a number less than 3 is 1/3.